All right, hello everybody. We are going to do a really quick review of Chapter 2 and Chapter 3 uh, PowerPoints, and I'll try to relate the items to your signature assignment as we go along too. So um, you can read through this as you go along. I'm just explaining strategic planning, political, economic, social, and technological factors. So think of PEST. That's probably something you'll need to know for your quiz or your test, your midterm exam. So political, economic, social, and technological. The biggest thing out of what I want you to get out of this is the needs assessment. So you will do a needs assessment without actually putting out all the information. It's okay to create information for this, but I would suggest that wherever possible, try to get real data from your county, your city, or the state of Kentucky to show that there is a need for whatever services that you want to supply to your area. So, for instance, I know somebody emailed me about is it okay to do one for eating disorders? And it is okay to do one for eating disorders. Just have the evidence in your needs assessment that shows there's a need for an eating disorder clinic. So, things like that. That is what your needs assessment is going to show. Is there a need for this? So if there are 5,000 people diagnosed with an eating disorder, typically an eating disorder clinic usually covers binge eating disorder, anorexia nervosa, or bulimia, rexia, and so those anorexia bulimia, those are the things that you need to show that there's a need for. So if you're going to have it, where are you going to have it at? And how are people going to get there? So you need to figure all that stuff out in your needs assessment. So identify your problem, the community and institutional characteristics. So you want to have in your needs assessment, you're going to focus on your community that you live in, or maybe the state, depends on what kind of services you're going to provide. You need demographic information. You need to know what the political factors are, what are the resources available, and the economic factors. Try to get real information as much as possible. It is out there. So if you wanted to do domestic violence, contact the sheriff department and the local police departments to see how many phone calls they get for domestic violence. Is it for women? Is it for women and children? Contact social services to see how many families are involved with social services because of family violence. Do simple things like that. You'd be surprised what you can get with just sending an email or going to a website and seeing what the actual statistics are for your city, your county, or the state of Kentucky. And then, is there a need, and what are the consumer's thoughts of this? So you want to consider that in the perceptions of their personal needs. And if there's already 10 programs that do battered women and they're having trouble keeping their doors open because they're providing services, but there's not people getting them, then how are you going to be different? How are you going to make sure that your program ultimately is self-sustaining? So usually this is conducted by a survey. You are not going to create a survey or a questionnaire. However, you can create or find a survey or a questionnaire that you would use. So if you wanted to actually do a needs assessment, you would send these out. And then you need to also write about how you do it. So is it done through the telephone? Is it done by standing outside of Walmart? How are you going to actually survey the constituents of an area, the city, the county, etc.? And then you're also going to want to know what kind of services are actually being provided in your area. It could be with the church, it could be other people who are participating in providing services for these things. So again, you're going to survey the local agencies. You want to find out how they're being used and what kind of services that they are being provided for, what kind of resources are available to you when you're working with certain populations. And so does your church or do the churches provide a food pantry, things like that. Those might all be helpful because you might get them to actually provide specifically, if you have a battered women's shelter, you might be able to get food directly from a church. And that would help you with your overall budget and things like that. And it could also help with, interagency collaborations. Plus, you want to make sure that you're not duplicating services. Sorry to keep going back and forth there. You may have to hold open forums and meetings, and so you can get the view from what's going on. And then the key informants, these are people who are well informed about the needs and local opinion. So these would be the mayor or the commissioner, different people like that, people in politics. So go back to pest and go to politics. And remember, even after you start doing your program, you're going to want to continue to do needs assessment. And you could read through all these. Collaboration, board of directors. Who's going to be on your board of directors? Remember, that's part of your program, and part of your signature assignment is to create a board of directors. And that is chapter 2. Okay, let's go to chapter 3 real quick. And chapter 3 is planning and program design. So who should be involved? What are the needs, problems being addressed? What outcomes are desired? That's a big one. What outcomes are being desired? And what resources are available? A lot of times people start getting involved in these things and they want to just keep expanding their services, and they haven't even worked on what they're actually providing. What alternate methods could be used to meet the objectives? What are the best methods? Which step is to be carried out? And how success can be evaluated. So you're going to want to be able to do all those things and show that you're doing those things in your papers as well. So strategic planning, 11 stages. You can read through these as far as strategic planning go. As you'll notice, a lot of these deal directly with your paper, your signature assignment. Specific objectives, and then management by objectives. So what kind of management are you going to use? Evidence-based practice and evidence-based programming, theory of helping, best practices. That's a big word, especially in human services. What is known to work? If you're providing services that are known to work, you're more likely to get money for those services. If you're if you have a theory about how things might work, that might not work out so well for you because people don't want to back up information or programs that are not based off of things that are successful. So the logic model, and ultimately you're going to have to develop an evaluation plan too, because you need to be able to evaluate your program. That's also part of your signature assignment. Marketing is also a part. So think about all those, and that is chapter 3. And so went through all of the slides pretty quickly there, but as you can see, that's the gist of it. I want to just stress, keep working on your signature assignments. Do not get far behind on those. You should already have what kind of program that you want to provide. You should already have your mission statement and be building off of that. If you want help, you want to send those to me to review and give you some feedback on, by all means, do that. Keep doing that, and I will check my email on a regular basis and try to get those things back to you as soon as possible. Do not delay in getting started, okay? I want you all to be successful in this. So that is all that I have for now. I wish you the best of luck this week. You do have the discussion board is up, and the PowerPoints, chapter 2 and chapter 3 PowerPoints are up as well. Please complete last week's discussion board. There are still some people who haven't responded to their initial response, and there are people who have done their initial response but haven't answered or replied to other people's responses. Okay, so make sure you take care of that as well. Have a good week, and send me emails if you have questions. And that's it. Have a good day.